Greetings, Wrestle Buddies, and welcome to the Buddy Wars semi-finals. I'm your host, Nick. I'm super excited today because I'm joined by two fantastic bookers who are going to present some really interesting theories, I believe, or work theories, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm joined, first of all, by our first-time contestant. He got a bye through the semis because his opponent backed out. It's Dutch. Dutch, I hope you bring it today.
I'm going to try my best. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Okay, and we are joined returning for his semi-final round after defeating the most questionable but chaotic booker in the history of Buddy Wars in Dan. We have the Captain. Captain, how are you, sir?
I am absolutely thrilled to be here. Beyond thrilled to be sharing I've shared the stage with him many times, but today sharing the ring with him, Tyler Dutch Peters. It's a pleasure to be going against you today. I'm doing pretty good. I'm fresh out of the shower, smelling fresh as a daisy, and unlike Jimmy Bay, my booking ain't lazy.
Wow.
That's fighting words. Jimmy's watching this. Right, gentlemen, we're going to get straight into it because of time constraints. Heads or tails? Dutch, you can call.
Heads.
It is heads. Dutch, would you like to go first or second?
I don't mind to go first.
Okay. Round one begins now.
Okay, so for Slamboree 2000, we got the Nitro after Spring Stampede, that previous pay-per-view. World champion, I kept Jeff Jarrett. He's going to open up the show with Vince Russo because, Russo and Jarrett have that relationship as the chosen one. So they're bragging over the win against DDP. That was the actual world title match from that pay-per-view. DDP's music's going to hit and interrupt. And Eric Bischoff comes out, appears smiling like he's going to side with DDP. Jarrett and Russo look surprised. Eazy-E is sick of Russo and Jarrett, all this scheming. So Vince, this wasn't part of our agreement. And then Russo said, DDP was my guy. They're trying to, outdo the other. Then all of a sudden, we get Scott Steiner's music. What happens is DDP setting up both Bischoff and Russo because somebody interfered, I'm not going to name yet, in that title match back at Stampede 2000. And Eric Bischoff looks surprised. So it tells me that we don't know what's happening between the New Blood leaders. I kept those storylines between the veterans and New Blood. So it appears we're going to get a title match. We don't know yet. I'm kind of building that up. We also get a match for Nitro. It's Rey Mysterio. He gets a win over Jamie Noble just to build this up to Slamboree. Turner has appointed a special commissioner. I'm playing off the drama between Turner and WCW. He's controversial. It's the Red Rooster. It's Terry Taylor. He's going to mediate between Bischoff and Russo. Taylor is interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund. He said, I've talked with the other two in charge, and I'm barring Scott Steiner from interfering to make it fair. We will have a title match. It'll be DDP challenging Jeff Jarrett in a rematch tonight on Nitro. If DDP loses, though, he'll have to leave WCW. And then, before we get that, we get Sean O'Hare defeating, facing Lance Storm. Actually, it'll be Storm applying the sharpshooter. Finley's going to come out. This is going to build to the pay-per-view and distract Lance and the referee while O'Hare gets the win to get him over because Lance Storm, he's helping establish Sean O'Hare because he's still green. Our U.S. champion, kind of hot-shotted, was Billy Kidman. He's seen talking with Double J backstage to, plant some seeds there. Medusa, we're going to have a women's match, takes on Daphne. Medusa's going to go over. We got a Cruiserweight Championship match, Chris Candido versus Shane Helms. Candido's going to retain via the Blonde Bombshell. DDP against Jeff Jarrett, world title match. DDP gets low blowed by Torrie Wilson because Kidman comes out, and the ref is distracted. He slides in Jeff Jarrett's guitar. So it's the New Blood trying to get one over Terry Taylor and DDP. Kidman goes to attack DDP. DDP avoids him. He hits the ring post. Jarrett thinks he's got an easy victory. DDP's playing possum, diamond cutter, new champion. So week one for Thunder, I wanted to build up Thunder. So we got an interesting tag team. And, it seems like I'm smoking. I'm getting high here. But I've got Dustin Rhodes and Chris Kanyon. I know the styles are different, but I like them as a team. They're my tag team champions, and they're taking on this team of Norman Smiley and Terry Funk. Talk about an odd couple, but I kind of went with it. But Canyon delivers a flatliner, Rhodes a bulldog on Funk. Both hit their finishers at the same time. They retain the titles. I wanted to build them momentum as a tag team. We get Hulk Hogan, as controversial as he is, arrives in the building on Thunder to give Thunder more of a weight to it, not just Nitro. The next match, though, we're building that Juventud Guerrero opposite Crowbar. I like both these guys. Crowbar goes over with his splash. Hogan comes out angry, so we get back to Hogan. I've carried this company since I've came here. He was informed by the New Blood, Bischoff and Russo, that he's no longer needed. And Bischoff comes out, you would think, as a friend, but he says, I'm tired of Hulkamania. I'm tired of Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So he says, you know what, Hulk Hogan, a family member's getting tired of you. And behind him is Mike Awesome. And Mike Awesome takes out Hulk Hogan. So, and then we get a United States title match, Billy Kidman versus Chavo Guerrero. Kidman retains. He's bragging. Alex Wright comes out to challenge him. That'll be next week on Thunder. Chuck Palumbo versus Booker T. Well, Palumbo goes over. Shane Douglas interferes and gets the 1-2-3. Then week 2 Nitro, we get a tag team match. Harris Twins versus Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs. Reformed them and gave them an update, though. It's not the typical American males. They win. They go over. Then we get Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Sting. And he wants to get Stinger's thoughts on all the political maneuvering. Russo, Bischoff, and Terry Taylor. He's got a match against Bam Bam Bigelow. And it segues to that match, later on. Russo and Bischoff promise a big acquisition for the women's division. Molly Holly will wrestle a mystery opponent next. Different music plays, and she was actually in WCW at this point.
That was down, Dutch.
Okay, Luna Vachon. Luna's going to get the win. I'm going to speed this up. Lance Storm is interviewed. He wants Fit Finley, so we're building that. Sting versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Sting tries the Scorpion Deathlock, but Bam Bam gets the win. And then we get DDP is backstage thanking the fans. He's like, Scott Steiner will get a title match. I'm a man of my word. He said, Kidman, nice try, Jarrett. You both failed miserably. We get Ric Flair against Mark Jindrak. This is to get Jindrak built up. It will be, though, Flair cheating to get the win. Actually used a heel move over Jindrak, as they are the heels in this situation. But to get heat on Jindrak, he knocks out Flair, attacks him afterwards to build to that. Then we get Rey Mysterio and Jimmy Wang Yang in a cruiserweight match. I'm keeping Mysterio strong for the Slamboree pay-per-view. Medusa's going to come out wanting competition. And this is where Terry Taylor says, you know what, I'm working with Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, and we found somebody else. This is fantasy booking. We've got Jacqueline from WWE. We have got her to come in. That's going to be your new opponent. Lance Storm battles Fit Finley. We get a singles teaser, a singles match, but Dave Taylor will interfere, causing a DQ, and Finley was awarded the victory, but he's not happy. He wanted a clean finish. Bischoff and Russo are with Mike Awesome. Mike remarked, if you're excited about destroying Hulkamania, he is. He's very proud. Next segment, we've got some trouble. Who can you trust between Terry Taylor, Vince Russo, and Eric Bischoff? Palumbo and Douglas will take on Chronic, and it will be Booker T's music that hits. Harlem Heat are reformed, Stevie Ray and Booker T will hit Shane Douglas with a steel chair, getting some revenge on the franchise. And then we get a United States title match, Billy Kidman, Alex Wright. Kidman will retain. Week 3 on Nitro, we get Smiley facing K-Dog. It'll be Smiley with the win just to get some matches in there. Tag team titles match, Dustin Rhodes and Chris Kanyon versus Big Vito and Sean Stasiak, but it'll be the tag team champions going over. Scott Steiner's interviewed ahead of his title match. He will be the world champion. He guarantees it. Women's tag team match, Luna and Daphne face Molly Holly and Tammy, formerly Sunny. I know it's interesting just to give her something to do, but it'll be Luna and Daphne going over and everything. So Bam Bam Bigelow, we're getting more promos from him. We get Ric Flair gives a passionate promo on Mark Jindrak. Sean O'Hare's going to come out there with Jindrak. Then Rick Steiner's going to help Ric Flair to make the save, to build that world title match, DDP versus Scott Steiner. And it'll be DDP going over. The Keeping Strong Thunder, we got Shannon Moore, Elix Skipper. We got Skipper upsetting Shannon Moore. We got Commissioner Taylor announcing a tournament for the tag team titles. Chris Candido will encounter a rookie on Nitro next week. First round match, Chronic faces Buff Bagwell, Scotty Riggs. They lose. It's Riggs and Bagwell going over. Sting to address his future on Nitro. Mike Awesome faces Yuji Nagata. Awesome wins. Lance Storm wrestles Alex Wright on Nitro. Tag team matchup, Harlem Heat, Shane Douglas, Chuck Palumbo. It'll be Harlem Heat advancing. Medusa versus Jacqueline is up next, but Eric Bischoff stops him. He says you two will have a contract signing to lead up to to Slamboree. We're not going to have the match till the pay-per-view. Week 4, we get the champion. DDP opens up the show. And it's been decided that Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and Billy Kidman, the United States champion, going to meet in a triple threat to determine the number 1 contender. Rey Mysterio will face Ultimo Dragon. The winner will get a cruiserweight title shot against Chris Candido at the pay-per-view. That's teased. First match is Fit Finley versus Bam Bam Bigelow. The match ends in a double countout. Dave Taylor and Lance Storm interfere, building to their match. Bigelow tried for a splash, and Finley, accidentally caused, that finish not to go right. Rick Steiner faces Sean O'Hare, and we see where it'll be Steiner getting the win. Kidman is promising victory. Russo orders Sting in the ring, and him and Bischoff insult Sting, and Vampiro is teasing he's coming to Slamboree. I did keep that rivalry pretty much the same. We get a cruiserweight match, Candido versus AJ Styles. AJ looked good, but Candido retains. We know that Rey Mysterio, Ultimo Dragon, will face off on Thunder instead of Nitro. Lance Storm versus Alex right near the end. Finley hits Storm, causing Lance to win accidentally. I kept building that up. Then we get the triple threat match main event. Steiner looked to win, but Kidman with the shooting star press save on to Steiner while he pinned Jarrett, and it'll be another shooting star press. Kidman will be the new number 1 contender. Thunder week 4, Mike Awesome gets a win over Hugh Morris. Chuck Palumbo will defeat Jim Duggan, and a video of Vampiro teasing that he is coming back at Slamboree. Mysterio will defeat Ultimo Dragon to get the number 1 contendership at Slamboree. Yeah, Jackie and Medusa, the contract signing, they have agreed to the match. Hulk Hogan declares he's coming back. Harlem Heat versus Bagwell and Riggs. It'll be Harlem Heat advancing. Slamboree opening segment. Bischoff teases there'll be some surprises tonight. We get Candido taking on Rey Mysterio. Somebody attacks him. It's Dean Malenko. And Dean Malenko will go on to face Chris Candido. He wins, becoming the WCW Cruiserweight Champion. And we also get Fit Finley facing Lance Storm. Dave Taylor is barred from ringside. Storm ducks the short arm clothesline, but Storm will win the match. And we get Medusa versus Jacqueline. Jacqueline will go over against Medusa. Dean Malenko is proud of his victory against Rey Mysterio. Arn Anderson is now the new commissioner. We learned that Terry Taylor has been demoted, fired. It is AA Arn Anderson as the new commissioner. And we get, let me see here in my notes. We also get Dustin Rhodes, Chris Kanyon taking on Harlem Heat. It'll be Kanyon and Rhodes going over it. DDP's been attacked. Sting versus the mystery opponent. It is Vampiro. Vampiro attacks Stinger afterwards. Ric Flair comes out to help. Jeff Jarrett blasts Flair with a guitar figure 4 leg lock. Scott Steiner shows up, but he helps Vampiro. And, of course, Jeff Jarrett. Goldberg's music plays. He spears Steiner on the aisleway and then spears Jarrett and Vampiro, helping Flair and Sting. We get Kurt Hennig responding to an open challenge by Shane Douglas. Hennig goes over. And then for the main event, it is going to be Billy Kidman taking on DDP. And DDP's injured with the ribs, and it'll be DDP retaining, though. After a heroic comeback, Eazy-E comes out, him and Russo, to announce the surprises. It's Hall and Nash of the NWO and stuff. And then Hogan will come out. They attack him. The odds are getting too much for DDP. And then Arn Anderson stops them and say, I've got surprises for you. Psycho Sid returns, helping out DDP with Sean O'Hare. They turned one of the new blood people. So I tried. That's it. I was speeding along there. So forgive me for talking faster, but I hadn't had that time.
All right, Dutch. Take a breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breathe.
Right.
Yep.
You did that in record time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know I needed to take a breath, but a little bit of nerves too, because I was trying to get through it.
No, it's all right, man. I really enjoyed that. It was how I described Kenny Omega's wrestling frenetic.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That one was just for you, Cap. Just I had to throw it in.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, really frenetic, very enjoyable, very boom, 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 which I enjoy. Everything had its place. It was all put in motion to the correct tone. You kept DDP strong. You kept Ray strong. You built people the way they need to be built. No, I really enjoyed that. Good job.
Oh,
good job. If I have to give you a rating, and I do, I'm going to give you 3.95 stars.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay. All right, Cap. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Right. Your time starts now.
It is April 10th, 2000. We are having Nitro live in Portland, Oregon. The broadcast starts. Ted Turner is live via satellite from Atlanta. I have been seeing the ratings. I have heard the qualms from the fans. WCW is not where it needs to be, but we're going to fix it. And to prove it, two things. I have appointed a new commissioner of WCW, and tonight Nitro will be 100% commercial free so that we can fit this all in to Mean Gene Okerlund. Gino is in the ring. He introduces, returning to the announced team, Bobby the Brain Heenan, who had been sort of littered off from there. He is back. So we got Shivani, we got Bobby, and now it is time for the new commission of WCW live in Portland, Oregon, none other than Roddy Piper. Piper comes down to the ring. He said, it's only appropriate that I am here taking over this job because I have kicked more ass in Portland than I have kicked anywhere else. And tonight I'm going to kick some more. First thing he does is he says, I want every single guy who's holding a belt to come down to the ring and bring it with them. The champions filter out one by one. Piper starts giving these guys the good mouth. You guys have been wearing these belts. You've been cashing those paychecks, but you haven't been earning them. Starting tonight, you're going to start earning them. But before you start earning them, you're going to take every single one of those belts off. You're going to lay them right down here in the ring, because starting tonight, we're going to have single elimination tournaments to determine new world champions. So if you guys want to keep those belts
like a tournament,
and you want a shot at this, you better get back there, lace up your boots, tape up your wrists, because from now on, before you cash those paychecks, you're going to start earning them. Piper goes to leave. Bum, 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 bum. Here comes Ric Flair. Flair cuts to the chase. Piper, all I want to know is, who am I facing tonight in this World Heavyweight title tournament? Piper tells him, well, you know, Flair, I figured you were going to show up, but you're not wrestling tonight. In fact, you're not wrestling tomorrow night, because I haven't decided just exactly yet what I want to do with you. But when I do, you'll be the first to know. Flair gets pissed, starts cutting a promo on Piper. As Piper's leaving the ring, he tells Gene this ain't over. So we have got all the belts vacant. We're starting tournaments for these things. And through the course of the 4 weeks leading up to it, we're going to see newer stars getting pushed. In the world title tournament, we're seeing guys like Steiner. We're seeing Page. We're seeing Shane Douglas. We're seeing guys like Psychosis getting pushes. We're seeing Lash LaRue getting pushed. Piper and Flair, this is going to be the big dynamic, the big power struggle. Flair is incensed. He is pissed. He wants to be in that world title tournament. We get through the first week. Winners start to advance. Get to the second week. It's on Nitro. We've got 2 matches in the U.S. title tournament. Scott Steiner versus Chris Kanyon. Canyon's going to go over. Steiner is going to get pissed, and he is going to absolutely demolish Kanyon after the match. And that is going to start their little rivalry. U.S. title quarterfinal, Shane Douglas, Rey Mysterio Jr. Shane Douglas is going to win the match. After the match, Ric Flair comes down to the ring. He tells Shane, I've got a proposition for you. World title quarterfinals. We've got Jeff Jarrett versus Dustin Rhodes. Jarrett's going to go over. And then the other quarterfinal match that night, it was going to be Sting taking on Lex Luger. Well, who can better sell a feigned injury, better than Lex Luger? He's perfect at not doing anything except selling injuries. So what does Piper decide? All right, Flair, you won in this tournament. You're in. It's going to be Sting versus Flair in the world title quarterfinals. Ric Flair has Shane Douglas come down to the ring with him, but to Flair's chagrin, the special referee is Roddy Piper. Sting is going to go over and advance. Moving on into the next week, this is the one that I promised Nick he was going to love. In the semifinals for the U.S. title, we've got Booker T taking on Shane Douglas. Booker T goes over. Semifinals, Billy Kidman against Chris Kanyon. Kidman's going to go over. World title semifinals. Jeff Jarrett versus Sid Vicious. Well, in the first match, in the quarterfinals, Sid Vicious took on Scott Steiner, who injured him. So Jeff Jarrett is going to advance via countout because Sid Vicious was unable to show up. So Jarrett advances to the finals. Semifinal match that night, we are going to have a rematch from one of the best Nitros of all time. It's DDP against Sting in the semifinals. And it is going to be an absolute classic. But guess who is going to, after Page goes over, who is going to screw it up? None other than Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome has shown up the previous week on Saturday night, demolished an entire group of guys. Mike Awesome is going to be the new Vader of WCW. He knocks DDP out, goes after Sting. Sting and Mike Awesome fight off. Kimberly checks on DDP. Jarrett comes down to the ring. He shoves Kimberly out of the way, produces 2 sets of handcuffs. Puts a set of handcuffs on DDP, puts another set of handcuffs on Kimberly. Jarrett asks for a mic. Looks like it's you and me in the finals, Diamond Dallas, Trailer Park, New Jersey, white trash Page. Oh, wait. What's the matter? You don't like it? Does this upset you? Does it make you angry that the chosen one got the drop on you and your slut wife? Well, if that's the way you feel about it, Slapnut, then you and your Playboy whore can choke on this. Jarrett takes the guitar, acts like he's going to whack Page. He breaks it over Kimberly's head. Kimberly is handcuffed. She is knocked out. Page is losing his absolute mind. Jarrett is instantly going to be the most evil, sadistic SOB in the promotion. So we get through more Cruiserweight TV tag team finals on Saturday night. We're getting to the final Nitro before Slamboree. And a guy who's been advancing through the ranks, one and only Lash LaRue. He's going to kind of be the new Chris Jericho because he's going to have a segment with his opponent finals at Slamboree called the Cajun Couch with Chavo Guerrero Jr. Lash LaRue is going to completely take a shot upon the Mexican culture. He is going to go after Chavo. He's going to walk out to the ring with an upside down Mexican flag, and they're going to get into it, have a pull apart on the Cajun Couch. Meanwhile, in all this, some undercard building, Ernest Miller and Vampiro, a great combination of guys. Vampiro's playing mind games with Ernest Miller. We'll see how that goes. And also at the same time, we're building Chronic and the Harris Brothers as the 2 biggest, baddest tag teams on the planet. They're going to have a Bryan Adams versus Don Harris match. It's going to be a big schmoz. And leading up to the finals of our World Tag Team title match at Slamboree, the tag team who has now become the best tag team in wrestling, Lance Storm and Chris Candido. They have gone through the tournament. They are going to be facing the makeshift tag team at Slamboree of 2 of the greatest workers of all time, Bill DeMott, a.k.a. Hugh Morris, and Bam Bam Bigelow. They both lost in their bids for U.S. and television titles. They decided to unite, and who knows what? They advanced to be the finals in the tag team tournament at Slamboree to face Candido and Storm. We're going to have a one-on-one between Hugh and Candido. Chris Kanyon and Scott Steiner have been going at it. Kanyon we're pushing him as this will not quit baby face. So, but every time he gets in it with Scott Steiner, Rick Steiner interferes. So tonight on Nitro, the big go-home show, Kanyon is going to face Rick Steiner. If Kanyon wins, Rick is barred from ringside for their match at Slamboree. Kanyon goes over. It's going to be Kanyon and Scott Steiner one-on-one. And we're also going to have a match with Billy Kidman and Shane Helms. Nice, good work there. And then we're going to revive the Piper's Pit. Because during this whole time, Ric Flair has been assembling new horsemen. He got Shane Douglas on his side. The week before, he converted Billy Kidman. So now Flair's got Douglas and Kidman. Piper's going to do a Piper's Pit. He brings down Flair and Shane Douglas. Well, during this whole time, there's been kind of a little bit of, stuff going on between an old friend of Flair's, Dustin Rhodes, and a new guy who Flair just absolutely refuses to acknowledge, Rey Mysterio Jr., who has been trying to make a push towards the big time. So we got all 4 of them in the ring. Flair tells Rey Jr., who he is now at this point calling Shorty, he will never, ever acknowledge him or give him a match because he is unworthy of facing the Nature Boy. Piper says, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. Slamboree, Kansas City, it's going to be Ray Jr. and Dustin Rhodes facing Ric Flair and Shane Douglas in a tag team match. And if Dustin and Ray Jr. win, Flair, you're giving Ray Jr. a one-on-one match whenever he wants it. So Flair obviously is in psycho mode, loses all manner of everything, and there we go.
Our main event gone, Cap.
All right. Main event for the go-home show, Sting and Jeff Jarrett. DDP distracts Jarrett. Sting pins him with the Scorpion Death Drop. DDP charges in after the bell. Kimberly's still in the hospital. He goes after Jarrett. They get into a slugfest. They're fighting through the backstage. Mike Awesome comes out. He emerges from the crowd. He attacks Sting, gives him 2 power bombs. Flair, Shane Douglas, Kidman, they walk out. Flair grabs a microphone, starts cutting a promo, and offers Mike Awesome a 4 Horsemen shirt. Awesome accepts it. Now there are 3. There are 3 horsemen. Flair's kind of acting as the mouthpiece, sort of in the J.J. Dillon role. He's still doing tag team, work here and there, but it's Shane Douglas, Billy Kidman, and Mike Awesome as the new horsemen. Flair gets the mic. Piper, this is all your fault. Every bit of this is your fault. You wouldn't let me into the tournament, and when you did, you screwed me out of a victory. Every bit of blood that's going to be shed is on your hands. And by my arithmetic, there's only 3. There's going to be 1 more added at Slamboree. We'll see you there. All right, we get to Slamboree. All right, we've got a 9-match card. Finals of the Cruiserweight title. Sugar Shane Helms versus Psychosis. It's going to be a phenomenal match. I love me some Psychosis. He never got the due that he deserved. But Shane Helms, I want to push him. He's going over Psychosis. We're in Kansas City. It's a classic wrestling territory. We need a good brawl. We're going to have a Kansas City Tornado tag team match. Chronic versus the Harris Brothers. This is going to be a meat slapper, similar to what we saw at Extreme Rules. These guys are going to beat the hell out of each other for about 10 minutes. Chronic goes over with the choke slam. They keep fighting, have to have a pull apart. There we go. This ain't over yet. World Television title finals. Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus Lash LaRue, carrying the upside-down Mexican flag just to further infuriate Chavo. Another great wrestling match, but Lash is going to pull some heel tactics with a low blow and his finishing maneuver. Lash LaRue is your new World Television champion. He walks out with the belt and the upside-down flag, waving it in front of Chavo. There's business left to be settled. World Tag Team Finals. Hugh Morris and Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lance Storm and Chris Candido with Tammy Sitch. Tag Team Clinic. You cannot go wrong with these 4 workers. It is going to be phenomenal. But at the end of the day, Storm and Candito are going to go over because I'm trying to rebuild this tag team division between a mix of the workers, Hugh, Bam Bam, Chris, Lance, and then your brawlers, Chronic, Harris Brothers. But ultimately, I got to put the belts on Candido and Storm because they are that awesome. And now we're getting to our big stuff. Chris Kanyon versus Scott Steiner with Medeja. Rick Steiner's barred from ringside. This is going to be Kanyon's coming out party. He is going to get in all of his innovator of offensive spots when Steiner isn't suplexing him and beating him to a pulp. Going to have quite a few near falls. Steiner is eventually going to get Kanyon in the recliner. Kanyon does not tap out. The referee has to stop the match. And of course, once the match is over, out comes Rick Steiner. Scott's got the lead pipe. They're going to beat the hell out of Kanyon. But at the end of the day, he held his own with Scott, showed what he can do. He did not tap. So Scott is still this badass, but everyone now knows Kanyon has arrived. He put on a great offensive show, and he is going to be a babyface we're going to build. United States title finals. Billy Kidman, I applaud you, Dutch, versus Booker T. Going to be another one of those back and forth matches. Both guys are going to have trouble putting each other away. Whenever we get to the finish, Booker will apparently have Kidman in a bookend. Booker's going to look at the ref, who is looking at Kidman's shoulders. Tori will put Kidman's leg on the rope before the 3 count. Referee calls for the bell. Tori shows him, no, the leg's on the rope. While the referee's talking to Booker and the timekeeper, Tori slips Kidman some good old brass knucks. Referee orders the match restarted. After a brief exchange, Booker hits a scissor kick, spin-a-rooney, motions to the fans for the bookend, goes to pick up Kidman. Tori distracts the ref again. Booker turns around and Kidman pops him in the side of the head with the knucks.
15 minutes down, 5 minutes overtime remaining.
He goes down. Kidman hits the shooting star press, 1, 2, 3. Next match, Sting and Mike Awesome. Classic Sting versus Big Man, a la Vader type match. Sting's going to start it quick. Awesome's going to put him down, cannot keep him down. Eventually, it's going to take 3 power bombs to keep Sting down. Awesome's going to get the win. Even after the match is over, he's going to try to run back and inflict some more punishment. He gets stopped. Second to last match, Mysterio and Dustin versus Shane Douglas and Flair. Going to be a good tag team match, but eventually it's going to be Ray and Dustin Rhodes going over. Dustin is going to get his match with Ric Flair. World Heavyweight Title Finals, Jeff Jarrett and DDP. We're going to have a little bit of a thing here. Ref bump, number 1. Jarrett brings the guitar into the ring. Ref tries to stop him. Tries to throw it out of the ring. Jarrett spins him in front of him. Page goes for clotheslines. Down goes the ref. Jarrett hits him with the guitar. Page gets color, figure 4, no one to count the shoulders. Jarrett's frustrated. Jarrett and Page, they keep on fighting. A new referee runs down the ramp. Jarrett goes for a suplex. Page reverses into a diamond cutter. But as he goes for the diamond cutter, the boot from Jeff hits the referee. He goes down. So we got 2 knocked out refs. Page tries to cover. There's no one there. Page just collapses in the corner, a la DDP style, holding the ropes. Down comes this sadistic horseman assassin, Mike Awesome. Page pulls himself up, stands dead ready, waiting for Awesome. While he's doing that, Jarrett, who has now got color, has the belt from the timekeeper. He's getting ready. Page goes to hit Awesome. Awesome holds him. Jarrett hits Page from behind with the belt. He goes down. Awesome's holding him, or Jarrett's holding him. Awesome goes up, going to do the double drop kick. Page gets out of the way. He hits Jarrett. Jarrett goes down. Diamond cutter to Awesome. Kicks him out. We have another referee coming down. Page and Jarrett keep going. Jarrett goes for a suplex. Diamond cutter, bam, 1, 2, 3. Page is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
3 minutes left.
Crowd pops. Page gets Big Goldie. He's standing in the corner. Kimberly's applauding, even though she still has a neck brace on. Jarrett rolls outside towards Mike Awesome. Down come Flair, Kidman, and Douglas. They pick up Awesome. They pick up what's left of Jarrett. It's clear Jarrett is the 4th horseman, but he could not get the job done. The heels circle the ring. All right, 1 on every corner. Flair's directing traffic. Here comes Booker, Dustin Rhodes, Rey Mysterio Jr. to back up Page, but it's still 4 on 5. The heels are getting ready to come in. Who do we see coming from the apron? The guy who we thought was taken out, Sting. He's holding his ribs. They're taped up. He's holding with one hand, but he's got baseball bats in the other. He comes down the ramp, gets into the ring. Each babyface gets a baseball bat. Each horseman tries to jump in. They get a baseball bat for their trouble. They celebrate in the ring. We've got a new World Heavyweight Champion. Flair is irate. The horsemen continue to bitch and complain. We've got our stables of Page, Sting, Dustin Rhodes, Booker T, Rey Mysterio Jr., Flair, Shane Douglas, Mike Awesome, Billy Kidman, and Jeff Jarrett. That's going to be the stables that are basically going to be opposing each other for the next 3 to 6 months. And it is going to be a constant back and forth between them. And you've got Roddy Piper, who's running the show. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow night on Nitro. Page is your new heavyweight champion of the world.
Very well done. Very, very well done. Very classically booked. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy, but everything made sense. Really like what you did with Page and Sting, bringing that because you know that is my favorite match. Also, thoroughly enjoyed what you did with Candido and Lance Storm. They are one of my favorite teams from ECW back in the day. And it's glad to see someone giving them their dues. So, if I have to give you a rating, I'm going to go with, sorry, Dutch, 4.25 stars, Cap. Okay. Right. Gentlemen, that was your pre-book. That was the book you had time to prepare for. Are you ready, my friends, for round 2?
What's left of us?
Right, gentlemen, you know the rules for round 2. I give you a WrestleMania. You have 10 minutes to present me with 8 matches minimum, 10 matches maximum. You go back to back doing a match each, trying to outdo each other, but cooperate at the same time. Are you ready to hear what you have to book?
Sure.
Go ahead. I'll pull up the card.
You get WrestleMania 11.
Oh, son of a monkey's. I hate you, Nick.
Wow.
Pull up the card, guys. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
I've actually got this one on VHS, and God, I've had to sit through it several times. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So there's 7 matches on the card originally, unless Dutch, you see something else you might want to add based on the roster at the time. I mean,
well, I need 8 matches minimum, gents.
So we got to add one.
Yeah, we got to add, just 7. This is interesting.
All right. Who else was there?
That's what's tough about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, while these two are having a look and getting their heads together, if you like what we do here at WrestleBuddy, if you enjoy the content we put out, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us loads. It's free, and it's the only way the YouTube algorithm really knows we exist. Also, while I've got your attention, please remember tonight at 4:05 a.m. UK time, not sure what that is American time, we'll be having, as per usual, the Drip King Jimmy Bebe's live recap of Raw. Don't miss it.
Yeah, this one's tricky. I'm having trouble just for that 8th match, but I'll just have to go.
Okay, gents, I'm going to have to call you for time. You've got 1 minute.
Okay. All right. So how do we start? I mean, because I have to go back.
That is entirely up to you. I don't care who starts out of the two of you. Just decide it between yourselves.
So, Cap, do you want to go first or me?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Right, gents. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Now.
All right. I don't necessarily mind this. Opener. Allied Powers against the Blue Brothers, the Harris brothers, with Uncle Zebekiah, Dutch Mantell.
Yeah, there you go.
What a coincidence! But Luger's going to be on his way out. Bulldog, he has future, so I'm going to put the Blue Brothers over here because this tag team division at this point in WWF is the absolute Ole Andersons. So Blue Brothers go over the Allied Powers. I'm doing a change-a-roo.
So I just go to the next match.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know what? To be honest, I really don't mind this. I'm going to keep it. I actually don't mind Razor over Jeff for this. So I'm actually pretty much keeping that.
And I'll do the same thing. Taker over King Kong Bundy.
Okay. Back to you, Dutch.
And this is going to be pretty boring, but I like Owen Hart and Yoko over the Smoking Guns with Jim Cornette. That's what makes it challenging. Some of these matches, I don't really see much to alter. I mean, on some of them.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to do I'm going to do an add-in match here. We're going to bring some ladies out. It is going to be Alundra Blaze versus Bull Nakano. And Alundra is going to catch Bull.
Okay. Back to you, Dutch. That's much fun.
I've got to admit, Bret Hart does go over Backlund. I mean, with all due respect to Bob Backlund, how do you not put Hitman over? I mean, what was tough is this roster was so thin. It was a little thinner during this time, so it's trying to find the moving parts. So I'm going with that.
Okay. That's 7.
All right. Even though we got Diesel and Michaels next, Diesel was only 3-4 months into his title reign. Even as we know, he would wind up being the lowest drawing champion ever. I would have to have him go over Michaels just to see if we can somehow do something with this. So Diesel catches Michaels.
Okay. And
Okay. Yeah. And for the last match, the main event, I'm actually having the wrestlers go over the NFL stars. As much as I like football, I'm changing the outcome there.
Okay. Well, you still got to give me one more match, guys.
That was 8. That was 8.
He added the women's.
I added Alundra Blaze.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. That's my mistake. Right. Not bad. Good timing. All well done. A little bit lazy, gentlemen, if you ask me. Left quite a few matches in there. That is not within the spirit of Body Wars. You are getting points docked, so they're not going against the spirit of Body Wars. However, my points don't mean a thing because the winner is decided by a poll. It's merely opinion.
The show where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Right.
Right, gentlemen. Are you ready?
All right.
For the final round. You're going to hate me. Gents, for the final round, you have 5 minutes. Same rules as before. 8 matches minimum, 10 minutes maximum to present me with a complete rebook of TNA's Victory Road 2009.
Oh, holy hell.
That's going to be tough. 2009. Let me pull that up.
Well, gents, I will give you maximum of 4 minutes to get all of this ready.
You can see Vince Russo's hands all over this.
Mm-hmm.
It is widely considered the worst TNA pay-per-view in the history of TNA.
I can see why.
Yeah, I got to tell you what. Are you ready, Cap? Or
Oh, I'm ready. I'm looking right at this card, and I know exactly what I want to do.
All right, gents.
I want to vomit.
Yeah. Do you? Who wants to go first, Cap?
You go ahead. I started the last one.
Okay,
right, gentlemen, your 5 minutes starts now.
On this women's match, I'm going to change it. It has originally Angelina Love with Madison, Rain, and Velvet Sky. The
beautiful people.
Yeah, the beautiful people. Singles match for the TNA Knockouts Championship. Part of me defeated Tara, the champion. I'm actually going to have, I think, Madison Rain go over as the Knockouts champion. Kind of just to change it up. I don't mind the competitors. I just want to see a little bit different ending.
Okay, Cap, match 2.
I got to put Matt Morgan over Daniels. I always liked Matt Morgan and never thought he quite got the due he deserves. So Morgan over Daniels.
Okay. Match 3.
Abyss has got to win. Come on, Dr. Stevie. He's got to win. That one's pretty simple to me.
The blank is working.
Match 4, Cap.
As much as I do love the Dudley brothers and for everything they did, but at this point in their career, I've got to start thinking younger and pushing younger guys. So I'm going with the British Invasion over Team 3D, just because there's so much age on this card and so much age on this roster at this point. I've got to start pushing younger guys. So yeah, British Invasion goes over.
It's strange that you called Doug Williams a younger guy, but okay.
Devon and Ray had worn out their welcome at this point.
The next match, I've got Awesome Kong, over Charmel. That's pretty obvious on that one.
Okay. 6, please, Captain.
No question here. Kevin Nash, what the hell are you doing, brother? AJ's going over. There is no way on God's green earth I am not pushing AJ Styles to the moon, and why he is not in the main event, I don't know why.
Well, he could have been in the main event. That's the whole point. You're rebooking the show.
But
match 7, please, Dutch.
I'm actually going to do a swerve here. I'm going to go Beer Money over the main event Mafia. As much as I like both these teams, I think they retain. I think they were the champions. I'm having them actually retain instead of being defeated here.
Okay, and match 8.
Samoa Joe and Sting, 2 guys I absolutely love in this singles match. Originally, it was Joe who went over, but Sting still had some gas in the tank for the most part, even though it's 2009. I'm going to have this one go to a time limit draw.
Interesting choice. Right, I believe that was 8 matches. Do you want to give me 2 more matches, or are you happy finishing on 8?
I think there is a 9th match. I'll just go. Really, I can't argue with Kurt Angle defeating Foley because of the stipulation submission match. Now, if I were to change it and make it a hardcore match, I would put Foley over. That would be my only thinking. So I may do that just to change it up, since some of these are kind of obvious on them.
Okay. Cap, do you want to give me another match, or do you want to leave it at 9?
I'm going to leave it at that one, although I would have booked that last one differently. I would have done more of a 3 Stages of Hell standard wrestling match, hardcore match, and then
I like that.
A cage of some kind to where Angle gets a fall, Foley gets a fall, and then go where we go. But ultimately, I'm putting Angle over because Foley's at that point, he's done.
Okay, gentlemen. That was Buddy Wars semi-finals. How do you think you both did?
I'm just glad I got through my booking assignment without going into cardiac arrest. And the 2 subsequent bookings, may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, would you like to know what the winner, who will be challenging Jimmy Bebe, who won the poll 58% to 44%, would you like to know what you will be booking?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to like this one, Captain. You'll be booking Starcade 99.
Wow.
All right. I have rebooked that many, many, many times in my head. I like that. So if I happen to have the honor of advancing past Dutch, I would absolutely love to rebook 99. That is a pay-per-view that could have been so much more.
Yes,
but
it is.
Ended up being so much less.
Yes. It was a 1-match card originally with the ladder match between Jeff Jarrett and Chris Benoit. Everything else was meh. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys can come up with and what Jimmy can come up with. More importantly, right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Buddy Wars, the semi-finals. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that spends their time with us here at WrestleBuddy. You cannot believe how much it means to us all. It really does. All right, gents, I've got a couple of minutes left. Have you got anything you would like to plug?
The Captain's Table starts back up this Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Myself, Jimmy Bay, the Quizmaster Matty, and a yet-to-be-named special guest from covering Beach Blast 92, Cactus Jack and Sting, Falls Count Anywhere, and one of the earliest Iron Man matches, at least in a big promotion, on a big pay-per-view. It is going to be Ravishing Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat for the U.S. heavyweight title. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely lovely. Dutch?
And I want to plug the horror review show. There'll be another one this Wednesday. I'm having a lot of fun, getting more.
That's over on Geek Buddy, folks.
Yeah, Geek Buddy. Thank you, Nick. I can't believe it. I needed to get my own plug together. And I just tried. That's what happens when you have to book Slamboree.
Plug yourself.
Yeah, there you go. And the Rewind Wrestling Radio Network, and also there's just so many podcasts. I'll probably leave somebody out, but they know who they are, so I'll just give those quick plugs.
And also tentative start date Sunday, October 23rd. Myself and the one and only Dan from the Sweet Chinwag podcast are planning on launching a new show that Sunday. Called Who Booked This Shit, and it is going to be Dan and myself analyzing the worst in the history of professional wrestling, but it's going to be a little bit different from the table. This isn't going to be a classroom. This is going to be more of Dan and I sitting at the back of the classroom with the straws and the spit wads. So final original the date to be announced, but it's looking like October 23rd. Hope you all enjoy that one. We're going to have some fun with it.
No worries. Right, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a poll launch tomorrow on Facebook and Twitter to determine who you believe won this episode of Buddy Wars, the semi-finals. Please put your votes in and let us know as soon as possible so we can get this final put together. It has been an absolute pleasure being with you. Once again, if you enjoy what we do here at WrestleBuddy, if you like the content we put out, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps us out loads. It's free, and it's the only way the algorithm really knows we exist. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where we say goodbye. I love you all. See you next time.